we are going to do a demo of circumlaryngeal massage as well as a cervical lymphatic massage. I reference both of these in the recent Myohacker podcast, and I want you guys to be able to do this at home. So what we're going to start with first, I like to warm up the lymph system. So if your hands are cold, I want you to rub them together like this. And if you're watching at home, you have headphones on that are like these, that are providing some pressure, take them off, okay? Like put it on speaker or whatever you can. I even want to take this off, but I'll have an echo. So I'm leaving them on like an adult. And instead, I'm going to warm up my hands just like this. They're super cold. That's why I'm doing it a little bit. Then I'm going to actually place on, I like to always start with lymphatics on the left side just because of the way things flow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going back, and this, you'll see it's very gentle. My hand is mostly flat, and I'm just going in this backwards direction. So what I want you to think of, you can sort of see that my skin, it's just barely stretching. Once I get to that stretch, I'm not going to go past that, because then it's kind of like you've got a washcloth and you're wringing it. That's not what we want to do. Instead, with the lymph nodes and the all of this lymph system, we instead want to be very gentle with it and just move it. Okay, that's how we kind of unclog what's going on there. So I'm just going back and down. And I want to be getting this whole area because we have lymph nodes that we're wanting to stimulate. And I love to do, the training I have had is that you do it 9 times, but I would say if you can do it any, that's better than none, okay? So what you do want to make sure though is that you try to even it out. I have done that before. You wouldn't think it would be this obvious, but I ended up having one eye that I was like, oh, it's quite a bit different when you get one side draining a little bit more than the other. And breathing in, be sure to breathe as you're doing this. If you are holding your breath, it just doesn't feel good. Okay. Warming my hands up again. And if you're like, it's sliding, it's not working, what you can do is you can just get a drop of water. Not a lot. If it's wet, it's going to slip everywhere. But just a drop of water. You just are going to put it on your hand and just gently stretching back and coming forward. Okay. And breathing with it. Now well, first we'll actually go through here a little bit. Okay. We talked about this on the podcast. I'm actually palpating a little bit. I'm feeling, okay, where do I have some congestion through here? But I love to do little circles in here. But because of how the drainage works, I am going to take off these headphones for a moment to show you the, basically the ear drainage sites. Okay. So we're going to go, think of going back 1, 2. So I have 1 finger or 2 fingers, if you can do the Spock sign, behind my ear. And I'm actually going like this. It's kind of whoop, this up and down, up and back and down, up and back and down. And then again, the other side, like that. There we go. Just breathing in and out. And I can feel my right side, which I've had a lot more just stuff on my right side, is a little more sticky. Okay. I didn't tell you to do this on the podcast, but what I do like to, ooh, that felt good. What I do like to do is actually warm up these suboccipital muscles as well. I'm just going through there because you'll find if you're restricted back here in the suboccipitals, then you're not going to have as much flow in the front. Okay. All of this needs to be moving. So what that meant was I just think of like the bottom of your hairline back here, and you're just kind of rubbing up in little circles, gently, 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 guys. We don't need to be pressing anything. Coming down just like that. And you'll feel you actually have lymph nodes in the back. So think of where you might have a ponytail or maybe an inch or 2 up above the hairline. You're going to press up and do those little circles. Okay. Then we're going to come under here. And I'm going to be doing these little circles through here. Okay, just like that. All right, now we're just going to come through. And you want to be mindful of kind of this pulling and then pressing. If we're smashing things, we're giving ourselves more wrinkles, which I don't need, you don't need, we don't need this more of in our life. I like to give pressure here through, so we have the facial nerve, we have outlets, different spaces. Okay, sorry, see the creases on my arms, super exciting. So pressing right here, you'll feel that there is basically a little hole somewhere along your eyebrows. Some people have it a little more forward than other people. So you're just pressing in. Oh, feels so good, guys. Right there. And then pressing here. And I'm starting to get a little bit into my sinus regimen, but that kind of works for what we're talking about here. And you might feel one side needs more pressure than the other or is more sensitive. That's okay. Just note that, okay? And we're going to tap, 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 coming through here. Okay, going through here. I'm going to give a little bit of pressure on the masseters because as you start to get inflamed and congested in the lymph nodes here, you might be clenching down, okay? Swallowing, open, close, and just encourage this downward drainage, okay? Next, we're going to do, I'm not going to have you do the full circumlaryngeal massage, but what I do want you to do is give a little bit of palpation. So you'll feel your hyoid bone. It is going to be, basically you've got your neck, and then in the back, it's like if your hand is under your jaw and you're going back and you hit your neck, you're going to feel the hyoid bone somewhere in there. What I want you to do is not the full palpation movement of it, but just go around. So find the horns of the cornu, or basically you're going to have the hyoid bone. It goes up, and you want your thumb and your forefinger, your pointy finger, to be kind of on those sides. And you're just sort of rocking gently, and then go 1, 2, 3 circles, and then down, dragging down. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, dragging down. Oh, feels so good, guys. And then, shake if you need to, okay? Let's do it again. You can hum with it. And 1, 2, 3, dragging down. So I feel a little restriction there. Just going to shake it, move down. Good. Okay. Make sure you hydrate after you do this.